everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they've got a full half season since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Here's Foles, and his first look is incomplete. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now Foles. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The numbers for him from a week ago. 3 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's number 6 in the league in receiving yards, and he plays for his team first. But he also, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can get into the top 5, that might affect his bonus in his contract.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Darnold. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. After the penalty, it's Fournette. A beautiful spin and room to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 17 carries, 70 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Foles. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
That's caught right side by Anderson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And quickly, let's check out the New England defense.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Back to throw here. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. That offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
First down.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
And they will run it with Michel. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Pats able to cash in for 6.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Santos with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. First and 10, Darnold rolling to his right. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now Darnold. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. At the end of one. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now T.J. Yeldon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now back to throw. Now a hit and falls fumbles, loses the football. It's out, and the Patriots have it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
All right, now, look at 56.
So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Keeping it on the ground on first. Michel looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, Darnold. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third?
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Faking the give, Darnold. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. But Charles, it's the second quarter. Your team's losing. You're not playing well as the quarterback. But like I said, it's the second quarter. So how worried right now are you?
You're concerned, but you're not panicked because you know there's still an opportunity. No one's excited about his stat line right now. One touchdown pass. Okay, that's cool. But he's throwing an interception as well. Can he eliminate the mistakes and keep making the positive plays, the good plays? That's what they're looking for from him.
Time to find out if he can do just that. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And that run was what a lot of people called an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
On the run, it's Yeldon. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Solomon Thomas, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Lee's got it over the middle. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big, and we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They begin with Michel on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They go play action here on 1st down. And with it flagged out, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. They're going to look to throw. He goes underneath for Yeldon. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the
Automatic
football.
first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Foles. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Foles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deron Harmon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
He finds Aguilar over the middle. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Flushed out right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd down and 10, Darnold. And that is incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Wide open receiver complete. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Darnold on 1st down. That's out to his running back, Michel. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Darnold to throw again. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Again, Darnold. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. So at halftime, there you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Bailey now to kick this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying it.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
The yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Foles. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll set up to throw. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the 1st half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And now here's Ross. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Over! Watch it now, Barney!
Now a pitch out to Michelle, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now, check! Patriot!
And Darnold just beating the play clock. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now. 3-19.
on the toss. Here's Michel. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Back to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. He has been nearly impossible to throw on all year long. If it was me, I'd say he could go ahead and book that trip to the NFL Awards show in February. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, I think. What do you think?
I would agree with you, and the reason why, because he takes the ball away, because he gets to the football. The only way a defensive back ever wins this award is because they have a number of interceptions, takeaways, knockdowns, all of that. Add it all together, he's created a lot of big plays.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Detroit!
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is... And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
You know, I always talk about when teams line up for long field goals, that you should be in a safe defense.
Right.
But you're also in a position here where this is a makeable kick. So rushing it is also part of the strategy. Maybe they use their aggressiveness against them on that fake.
Yeah, with a low trajectory, they're coming in hot, trying to block it. And you're right, and obviously it worked out. On the handoff, it's Michel. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. New England on 3rd down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Josh Gordon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Yeldon. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Foles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Caught Seferian-Jenkins, right side. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now back to throw. That one complete to Yeldon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate Big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Looking to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It's complete left side to Aguilar. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Following the penalty, Michelle. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Detroit! Over!
And it's Michelle once again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now it's Darnold. And he's got Hireman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take him look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
New England on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 19. Back to throw, Darnold. Flush to his right. He's going to go up top for the ends. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. In for the score. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Foles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Foles. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 1st down, he'll drop the throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding. Offense.
So they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start. Offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Back to throw here. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup. And that's going to make it 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, 13. It certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it.
Personal
when they
foul.
first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Pats, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.